Hi, I'm Taylor Schaefer, also known as Penguin402, and tonight I'm going to be doing something very special, and I'm going to do it weekly, and that's a web show called In the Dorm Room. And tonight I'm live from my dorm room, and each week I may or may not have special guests on the show. We'll see. Uh, and tonight I'm going to start off with, each week I'm going to talk about my favorite shows that I grew up watching. And tonight I'm going to start off with animation, and it's going to be PBS Kids. And number 2 is Sagwa. Sagwa is about a Siamese cat from China who's the emperor's Siamese cat. The emperor has 5 Siamese cats: Sagwa, Sagwa's sibling Dongwa, Sagwa's sister Chihua, and then Sagwa's parents. And Sagwa has a best friend who's a bat, who wears glasses and isn't great at flying, and they both get into a lot of mischief. It's an amazing show. It wasn't on for very long, and I was really upset when they took it off the air. And now it's time for the portion of the show, my favorite portion of the show, music. Each week I'm going to talk about a decade of music starting with the 60s, because I'm not going to include the 50s. I am not a huge fan of the 50s. Don't know much music from the 50s. But I'm going to start with the 60s and go all the way up to today's music. And so, starting with the 60s, and I'm not going to go with obvious people like the 60s Beatles, as much as I love the Beatles and the Beach Boys. It's too obvious. Everyone's going to say the Beatles when it comes to the 60s. So I'm going to say, for the 60s, I'm going to say the Temptations. They sing my favorite song of all time, My Girl, and I love the Temptations. They epitomize what Motown was and still is today. I'm a huge Motown fan. I love Jackson 5, Stevie Wonder, Martha and the Vandellas, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, and Diana Ross and the Supremes. I'm a huge fan. I'm just a huge fan of Motown. And so for the 60s, I say the Temptations, for their vocals, their harmonies, everything about them is something that a lot of us listen to. I know that my dad listened to the Temptations. He got me into the Temptations. He had American Bandstand CD, and on there it had My Girl by the Temptations. I loved that song. I started memorizing that whole song, all the lyrics to it, and it was just something that I loved. Now, that's groups. Now, as far as solo work goes, I don't have one, because I'm not a huge fan of like the solo artists from the 60s, because I don't know very many solo artists. But if I had to say one, and I know I said I wasn't going to do obvious ones, but this one is the only one that I can think of, and that's Stevie Wonder. Like I said, I'm a huge Motown fan, and I love Stevie Wonder. My favorite song of his is from one of my favorite movies of all time, and the movie's called The Outsiders, and the theme of that movie is Stay Gold, and that is my favorite Stevie Wonder song. I love that song. I don't ask me why, because I have no clue. And that's all I have for you guys today. Now it's time to say goodbye, and hopefully you guys enjoy this song.
See you real soon. Why? Because we like you.
like, comment, rate, subscribe, and when we get up to the 90s, I'll start talking about, like, whenever we get up to the 90s in music, I'll start talking about my favorite toys that I played with from in the 90s and the early 2000s. Some of those toys were amazing. Bye!